Good morning. Greetings from Dystopia. Episode 18. We are back out here again in the preserves today. Had an unusual one coming up the hill just then. So much so that I kept it recording and didn't realize it. So I scrapped the recording because I had people's voices on it. Was coming up the hill, and one of the guys, there's a couple walking together. The guy, I walk by, and suddenly he turns around and he's like, he says the entire name of my blog and the video channel, the Shut the F Up and Fish. He's like, "Hey, are you the Shut the F Up and Fish guy?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, cool, I met you at one of the Trout Unlimited things." And it was like, seriously? I meet enough people that I don't remember all of the faces. There's the same ones you see continuously at different meetings and different events. Turns out this guy is a member of Drift, the DuPage River Fly Tires. He's been up to the Tenkara Fests up in Wisconsin. He said we actually ran into each other in Wisconsin, and sorry dude, if you're watching, I apologize. I'm fairly good with faces, but it takes me a little bit of time I have to see you in enough different places, to where I know it. So anyway, so we talked for a minute or two and then went about our ways, and I started over. Anyways, it's episode 18 if I didn't say that. I'm really starting to get surprised by how quickly the episode numbers are ramping up. They are coming up quick. Just seems like the days are going by quick, which is a good thing, at least in our current situation. Remember my comment the other day? Right there. Don't shit on the trail. Go up in the woods, dig a hole, shit in the hole, cover the hole. You're done. 200 feet from water is the official term. I think I said 100 feet the other day. I hate people that shit in the woods. That's just nasty. Or out in the open. There's nothing wrong with going in the woods. But when you do it right on the trail or right next to the trail, I understand emergencies happen. Believe me, nobody knows that more than I do. Exercise some little bit of due diligence, a little bit of stewardship. You guys hear me say that word a lot, but it is your responsibility when you're in the woods to take care of them. No exceptions. Oh, I got somebody hiking up here. Hold on. Better safe than sorry, right? Every one of them pulled up their buff as they saw me, and I pulled up my buff as I saw them. So yeah. In another way, that's stewardship in action. Not only are they taking care of the trail, but they're taking care of me and taking care of themselves by covering up. It's not a big deal. Doesn't need to be an N95 mask or a surgical grade mask. Just enough to cover your breath. You don't want to spread anything on them. They don't want to spread anything on you. That's all we're concerned with. And if I don't pay attention to where I'm walking, you walk into stuff like this. Hello? Okay, so some follow-ups. Bill watched the video last night. Actually emailed me this morning. I don't mind email either. If you know my domain email address, you can send me an email. I prefer the comments on YouTube or on my Facebook post, but the YouTube comments would be better. It's community engagement. Somebody actually asked me the other day too, before I get back to Bill's question, on doing YouTube Live instead of Facebook Live. I can do YouTube Live. However, at the moment, I am restricted to doing them from my computer. You cannot go Facebook Live on mobile until you have 1,000 subscribers. So, you want Facebook Live mobile? Subscribe. Get people to subscribe. I have no problem doing live broadcasts. Like I said yesterday, I actually prefer the interactivity of the live portion, because you guys are asking me questions while I'm walking instead of me trying to play it all off the cuff, which fortunately I can do fairly well, I think. Alright, so Bill emailed me again this morning after watching yesterday's video and was talking about the pocket knife, and he asked me what my favorite knives are. That's a tough one. Like I said, I'm not into knife porn. I don't have, like the swords and Klingon Botlef and all of the things that people collect for knives. That's just not me. To me, a knife is a tool. And you have different tools for different jobs. I'm going to pause on that for a minute. I want to show you guys. As much as I complain about the mountain bikers, they are doing some good work. This was a constant mud pit, and they came out here with a bobcat and put down a bed of limestone, it looks like. So yeah, so they're doing some good work, but they need to get back on it and stay more to the maintenance. But that's okay. Anyway, so yeah, a knife is a tool, and for each job there's a different tool. Do I have a favorite brand? It depends. Like you saw, my multi-tool is Gerber. I tend to stick to Gerber for multi-tools. I had a SOG for a while. It was a lot of things that were overlooked as far as the engineering of the tool. They spent more time concentrating on making it look cool than making it function. So anyways, general purpose, all around pocket knife. Yeah, I would have to go with Schrade Old Timer or Ken Onion. Did several knives for, begins with a K, I'm drawing a blank. I'll put the name brand down below. They are very good knives. It's bugging me when I can't remember something. It sticks with me and I can't get it out of my head. Anyway, Opinel has to be one of my favorite all-around knives. They're a French. They're in the category that's called peasant knives because they're inexpensive. Wood grip. If the handle is completely wood. Everybody's pretty much all seen them at some time or another. They have a rotating steel collar. So you flip the blade out, rotate the collar, and it can't close. You close the blade, flip the collar, and it won't open. Opinel, I think, has... Yeah, I'm going to have to give that one to Opinel. As far as my favorite knife, I have... I got another group of hikers coming here. Hold on. Trying to get you guys shots of the people as I pass them. That was a nice one. They went out and kind of stepped off the trail. We kind of went wide on each side of the trail and gave each other a berth. But yeah, I definitely would give that to Opinel. I have a bunch of Opinel knives. I think probably because they're so inexpensive, you don't think about, okay, well this one's a longer blade, so this one's better to go in my fishing pack, and shorter blade, this is better for my pocket. Oh, this one has a nylon handle and accepts the 1/4-inch screwdriver bits and all of that. So I have one of those for work, an electrician's knife made by Opinel. You'll see there's one I carry in my EDC kit, which Bill also asked me about. My everyday carry kit. I don't carry it in my pocket. My EDC stuff. If you do a pocket dump on me, it's going to be pretty boring. It's just keys, a rock that I've carried around since basic training, pocket knife, little AAA cell flashlight, and that's pretty much it. My pockets are fairly unexciting. See guys that say, all right, pocket dump, and they empty out their pockets and they got 5 pounds of gear in their pockets. I do not understand that. Go light, you know, especially when you don't need it. This one's a little unusual. Nothing attached to it, it's just where it landed. There it is. A little red inflatable balloon. Pennywise? We all float down. So yeah, so Bill, I'll go over the EDC kit in the van and give you a quick look at that. It's very simple, it's nothing fancy. It's just a few basic hand tools. He also asked about my hammer. It's just a stake hammer. It's nothing fancy. It's actually a brand new one because I broke my other one last year. I carried around one of the nylon ones similar to a dead blow hammer, and it finally gave up the ghost after probably 15 years of being lugged around in different vehicles and hammering just about everything with it. So I bought a wooden handled one with a heavy brass head. I'll show you when we get back. So yeah, I have a lot of knives, but again, to me they're tools, and each one has a specific purpose. I also have several from Mora, M-O-R-A. I do like Mora knives because they hold one hell of an edge. If you need a sharp knife and a knife to stay sharp, that's it. I showed you guys the Eldris, they're a little small blade. I tend to carry those in my pack. I think I have 4 or 5 of those, and I keep them in each pack because of, you know, it's very small, it's a very versatile blade, and they just plain hold an edge. I have the Guardberg from Mora. I have, I can't remember all the different model names, but I have several different ones. I pass this piece of tree every now and then, and I love that one. I don't know why. Just it looks pretty cool sitting there. Coming up on one of the old bridges. You guys might remember when I was talking about the old Dynamite Road, and this is part of it. This is one of the old bridges from the Dynamite Road. Maybe I'll stop and get you some photos of that one in a sec here. I'll stop the video in a minute and I'll walk over, shoot a couple pictures and put those in the video from the sides here. Although there's enough debris in the little creek here, you won't be able to see much, but let me do that. Yeah, so I'll stop, I'll get those photos, put them up, and then I'll see you guys back in the van. Alright, well, you know, I thought about it. I think I mentioned this before, but when you're out and you're in these preserves, spend a little bit of time and look at the history of the preserve and just see, is it just a, you know, was it a land grant? Was it farmland that went fallow? Or was it like this place? Was it a government research facility during a world war? You know, take the time and kind of look at the history, learn a little bit about what's going on, you know, about the preserve you're walking in. A lot of them here in north central Illinois have quite the history to them, and you might actually be surprised at what they are or what they were once upon a time. Bunch of squirrels running across in front here. Don't know why I decided to do this longer loop. Yep, I'll be coming up on my step completion for the day. Haven't had enough altitude change yet, but I'll get that. Where I'm at, yeah, probably another quarter mile I'll have my altitude, because I got a whole bunch of dips coming up as I go down in and out of the various ravines here, because this outer loop trail carries you through most of the big ravines. Although there's one east of here, probably about 4 miles to the east, 3.5, 4 miles, that just is amazing to me, and I'm waiting. I should walk out there tomorrow. It's a longer hike, but I'm waiting to see that one in the summer, because it is just beautiful, that ravine. And the last time I hiked it, I posted pictures of it on Facebook. I think I posted a video too, but just the quick video of the view. And there's horses going down the other side of the trail, different riders. Nice little marshy, swampy area. Kind of goes, just continues back up. Just goes straight back that way. Little woodpecker. These are in another, surprised they're not up yet, but in another few weeks you'll start to hear the peepers there. Sorry, I'm trying to put my glove back on. My fingers are getting cold. And since I'm holding the camera and trying to squeeze on a glove, she's not working. Look at the timer's kind of off. But yeah, so now I'm going down a hill. It's always hard, so there you can see the grade. Sometimes these cameras, the flat cell phone cameras and stuff, you don't really see the angle because there's no real distant contrast. I hear a turkey. I could hear a hen clucking. Back over here. Probably right over in there. I have to keep an eye on. I've actually seen a lot of turkey in this preserve in the fall. Makes you wonder if they're smart enough to know, hey, you can't hunt in this preserve, so I'm going to go hide in there. So camera-wise, still no word because I was talking about it. And I just got my steps, my distance. Hold on a sec. All right, sorry about that. I always get the photo of each goal day. I think I've missed one. And I know I've mentioned it before, but the idea behind it is I want to make a video, or even my daughter suggested it, of the few pictures I've taken of myself, you know, like without a shirt on or something like that, and superimpose them on the appropriate goal day, so you can kind of see the ever shrinking me, as she's fond of saying. But I have not done a lot of selfie shots like that in the, you know, like in the mirror where you can actually see my gut and my chest. And I do have one. I think I was around 220 in that photo. So even that's 32 pounds ahead of me, or behind me, I should say. So yeah. Don't have a lot of pictures of me as a fat boy. I tried to avoid photos. I don't like being in photos anyways, but yet here I am. So yeah. Trying to get back up. Now I'm going an uphill. I do love the variety of terrain. This is so. I've talked about that middle loop trail I run. I'll be up to the intersection here in a little bit, but I do that middle loop It comes down through the woods back over this way. And I make that right farther up, and it takes me back out to the old road. The 6.1 mile is to come that road and head back where we just came through, past where I made coffee with you guys on the Facebook Live video. Goes past there and then loops back. And that's the 6.1 mile loop. There's a lot of walking in that one because going the other direction here, it's predominantly uphill. You get very short, steep downhills and then long, gradual uphills. That's the one I was talking about. That is the double Black Diamond ski trail. In fact, I'm on it right now for cross country skiers. And if you could look at the ground here, it is, I don't know how well it shows up, but it's quite bumpy. Okay, I am going to stop yapping for a bit, and then I'll see you in the van. Hey guys, oh, almost spilled my water there. Actually, I did spill a little bit of it. We're back. I actually went through and recorded an entire segment and realized that I left the music on in the van, and it was playing on my Bluetooth speaker. And thought about it and was like, you know, YouTube could give me a takedown notice for that, because I was playing a lot of we'll just say pop rock. Yeah, and the last thing I want is a takedown notice because of unlicensed music. So we're back. I got my stuff back here to answer Bill's question. I decided I do want a cup of coffee, so we'll walk through the whole process of making coffee in the van to show you guys. I know it's really thrilling, right? I mean, it's just so simple, so straightforward. I do have the windows cracked, if you'll notice that. All 4 windows are cracked. You can also open the back door. Get this. Gonna get it to boil. Oh, my Shug fans should get that one. But yeah, I just, it's probably better for you guys that I shorten the video. You know me, I can talk and talk and talk about nothing, and then suddenly I'm like, oh my god, this video is long. But yeah, I shot a little piece of bonus footage I'll post up later just about the trail. I walked through one of my favorite sections to actually run through. I've got a little fill light on in the back over here, one of my light arrays. I'm hoping that will be enough to stop the lighting changes that I noticed in yesterday's video. I don't know if that'll help any or not, but we'll see. Because I did notice yesterday that there were a lot of light and dark spots as I would turn away or cover the light. So it's a learning process, right? I'm still learning. Just like trying to keep the view level, and I got it too tight. Actually, I can do that. I can just swivel the camera. So, Bill, you had asked about my EDC kit, and I have showed this before on the channel. It does not take this thing long to boil water, so I got to kind of keep an eye on it. If I keep it covered, it will boil quicker, though. Watch pot never boils. But yeah, I did cover this in one video just as a quickie. This is a Maxpedition case. I forgot exactly what they called it. I keep a spork up front. It's the multi-tool spork with a can opener and a couple wrenches and a screwdriver on it. Inside the case is very simple, very straightforward. Ferrocerium rod. I have a few pens and pencils across the top, a notepad in the back, multi-bit screwdriver, extra medication, and a lighter. I have an Opinel knife right there. We'll talk about Opinel in a separate video. Extra little blanket pins. Blanket pins always come in handy for exactly that. You put a blanket around you, you can pin it in places like a shawl or whatever you want to call it. Kershaw knife, that's the one I couldn't think of earlier, the Ken Onion design. I have my Leatherman style PS, just a little multi-tool. This one is airline friendly, TSA approved. Another spare little S-beaner. I love S-beaners because they're flat, easy to store. In the back of here I have, in this little zipper pocket, I have a Mylar blanket, some fire gel cubes, very small first aid kit with just band-aids and blister tape, stuff like that, and that's it. It's a very simple, very handy bag. Yesterday, real quick, I talked about the Gerber suspension that I keep as the multi-tool in my kit. So this is the one that stays in my kitchen kit. If I am out and about and feel the need that, or even think that I might need a multi-tool, I also have the Suspension NXT, which is a slightly lighter weight skeletonized frame. It's a little bit lighter, not much lighter. I'll have the two pliers are exactly the same except for the lighter frame. They're the same general size, all the same tools. I prefer the NXT actually for carrying on me because it does have a built-in belt clip, which you can see. And we are about ready to boil, so I will pull the lid off. But yeah, I prefer the NXT for if I need to carry it with me because of the clip. I can clip it on my suspension, click it in, you know, in the pack or in a pocket. The NXT is, yeah, my favorite one, but this one stays in with my van kit, my food kitchen box, as I like to call it. Not that watching water boil is ever fascinating, but we're getting there. So I did put the cutting board up so you can kind of see what I was talking about. I do like the cutting board on there. It just gives me a nice level surface to set everything on. Get my tools out of the way here so I have some room to work. Yeah, we're there. And that's it. So you can see the time it took to boil water. Probably about 6 minutes. Set the cup down. We now have us a nice steaming cup of water. Ken, I know you're going to laugh, but I have no Medaglia d'Oro today. I just have my... Oh, I hate these things. The Starbucks Via sometimes is not cut well enough so that you can just tear the top off. You know, so sometimes it actually tears into a little piece as you go to pull it off. And then I was talking about the sugar in the raw, how you can buy the bulk tubes on Amazon. These are like you would find in restaurants, but you can buy them bulk at Amazon. And I love having those things, like I was saying, for a quick little bit of energy. They are the perfect thing to have around. Give it a nice little stir. Sometimes it's hard to beat a good cup of coffee. So now is the magical shift, because you are where I would normally put the koozie for the minimalist. So now I have to shift it down to the floor, drop the cup in there. Now I can pick it back up and put it up there. And that's it. Cup of coffee. So yeah, I talked about that kit. I just gave you a quick view of what's in it, Bill. We can talk about Opinel knives in a separate video. Maybe I'll just do one extra video just to cover my knives. Because that does seem to be a fairly common question. You guys all saw this on my little live walk with you guys. I keep my spork on the side of it here. This is just a pencil bag that I found at Walmart. I don't know why. It just, with that little thing on the side, I was like, you know, that's handy because it gives me a spot to stick tools and stick whatever I need. So, again, ferrocerium rod. This is the little salt pepper shaker. Yeah, this one is from GSI. You know, I showed you that big kit yesterday. And it also has one of these in the kit that I need to fill. But this bag is the one that's always in my pack. To be replaced by something made out of Dyneema one of these days. Always carry a lighter. I have multiple lighters, you wouldn't believe it, and ferrocerium rods. This little case I found on Amazon looking for something else. And it clips on the side. The lighter clips inside of it, but you've got a very fine, there's the camera, has a very fine blade, a small little pick or toothpick. It also has a bottle opener on the bottom of it, so you can, you know, just come up, click it off. It's just one of those little gizmos, you know. You got, I don't know how many of you guys are like me, but if there's some little gizmo that serves multiple purposes, you gotta have it. Inside the bag, I kind of pulled everything out the other day. The spork, the alcohol stove, my hot lip. I have like a dozen of these things. I thought I only had 2 or 3, and then I found a bag that's got a bunch of them in there. Very handy if you're using hiking, camping cups, metal cups, and you don't want to burn your little whips. They're the perfect little thing to have. So yeah, it's not too bad out today. 45, sunny, a little bit hazy, but overall it's pretty good. I don't remember if I said it earlier, but Illinois, we're right, looks like we're getting ready to go over the hump virus-wise. It does look as though we are hitting peak or close to a peak. I just noticed on the bottom of my van, I'm trying to tell if it's a reflection or if it's daylight coming through. It's got to be a reflection off of something. It cannot be daylight coming through, not where it's at. If so, that would explain why it always gets cold in here really quick. Last year, February, I believe it was. No, March, first part of March, the one fly. I'd gone up and I secreted myself in the back of a campground where I was kind of out of sight from people going by because it was technically closed. The campground was not open. But I did talk to somebody from the county and they said you can go ahead and stay there. But yeah, I'd slept out here in the van that night and it got, I don't know, it got down into the low 20s that night. I was all fine in my sleeping bag, but when I went to get out of the sleeping bag, I kind of looked over at the window. I mean, actually that window, because I was sleeping on that side. But the window had frost on it. And I was like, oh, hell. So as I pulled myself out of the sleeping bag, I was like, oh my God, it's cold in here. So I'm jumping over the seat, trying to reach up and start it to start warming up the van. And the back of this van takes forever to warm up. But at least I had heat blowing in this way. So about 20 minutes it was tolerable to get out of the sleeping bag again. And then I sat here and made breakfast, just like that. I forgot what brand it was, but It might be Mountain House. But there was a hot granola cereal. And I was really skeptical of that one, but I tried it, and it had cranberries and granola, a little bit of brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. There was other dried fruit in there, probably bananas and some other stuff. But, oh, that was good. I never thought hot granola cereal, I never thought of it that way. I always kind of figured, nah, granola's cold with milk, right? But yeah, the hot granola cereal, and that, it may have just been that morning because it was cold, but yeah, that hit the spot. There was no other questions. We'll go over first aid kits and stuff in another video. If you got your questions, post them up, guys. Come on. Put them in the comments below. If you are on YouTube watching this, please like it. Please subscribe. As I said earlier, I've had people ask about doing live again. I don't mind doing it. I would prefer YouTube live because it's a wider audience. However, before I can go live on mobile, I need 1,000 subscribers. So it's going to be a while before we get to that point. But we'll get there. We'll get there. All right, guys, I'm going to let it go there. I'm going to sit back here. I brought my Kindle. I'm going to kick back and read a book, drink my coffee, enjoy the day. All right, guys, be good, be well. We'll see you tomorrow.